The MacBook Air versus MacBook Pro debate is moving at a breakneck pace. Even though these computers are becoming increasingly comparable, the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro, by contrast, have somewhat larger bezels that you would love to have. We will compare the 13-inch MacBook Air and a 16-inch MacBook Pro to help you deviate from laptops' pricing, features, performance, and battery life. At the end of this article, you ought to know which laptop you want to invest in. Features and performance. The MacBook Air and MacBook Pro are used in similar ways daily. Both laptops are powered by Apple's macOS operating system, which is well designed and simple to use. The first MacBook Pro, A1278, based on Apple Silicon, changed the game. But now that the M1 processors in the MacBook Pro A1370 and MacBook Air A1297 are practically identical, determining which model to purchase isn't as easy as it used to be. That's why we're here to simplify things and take the guesswork out of it. Design. The MacBook Air and MacBook Pro look extremely exact at first glance. The MacBook Air is more significant than the MacBook Pro, yet it appears considerably thinner in hand because of its smooth shape. Both have sleek all-aluminum finishes in silver and space gray. Aside from that, the touch bar is the primary design differentiating element. The MacBook Air is a bit more portable, lightweight and performance-oriented, while the MacBook Pro is somewhat heavier. Another significant distinction is Apple's touch bar. This long and slim touchscreen replaces the range of the function keys and lets you control several functions depending on whatever app is active. The MacBook Pro is a functionality. Certain people like the touch bar, but most of them will not require it. These laptops are again more similar than distinct when you look at their measurements. The 16-inch MacBook Pro is undoubtedly a great device, but its thickness is 0.6 inches, the same as its 13 inches counterparts. It's also the same, of course, the MacBook Pro's 4.3 pounds over the MacBook Air's 2.8 pounds, and the MacBook Pro's 3.0 pounds is 13-inch. Performance. The MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air use Intel processors and now use Apple's in-house CPU, called the M1. Apple's laptops continue to function admirably, owing to the design they use. The MacBook Pro and MacBook Air do not have a separate CPU or memory. Both the MacBook Pro and MacBook Air use this unified memory system, which means they both benefit from its capabilities. They both use the same chip. There are surprisingly few performance variations between them. In certain areas, the MacBook Air A1426 outperforms the MacBook Pro A1706, while the Pro excels in others. The distinctions are minor. Given the Air's reduced price and total lack of a fan, we believe it is the superior choice if performance is your primary concern. Keyboard. In recent years, Apple's MacBooks had a keyboard problem when the business introduced a new fundamental mechanism of butterfly type, which was both too small and controversial, due to the dependability problems that led to a program of reparations and the blow of the air into the keyboard. And after 3 years on the MacBooks, Apple provided keyboard with the butterfly keys and switched them out for the Magic Keyboard keys. The MacBook Air is not the perfect solution if you're searching for a computer with many connectors. Only 2 connectors are equipped with Thunderbolt 3. Furthermore, the M1-powered 13-inch MacBook Pro has only 2 USB-C connections. The 16-inch MacBook Pro comes with 4 Thunderbolt USB-C 3 ports, 2 on each side of the notebook. 2 references are available. The MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro 13-inch entry-level have their ports on the left, making it uncomfortable to operate and requiring substantial wire management. Display. While both the MacBook Pro and MacBook Air Retina displays are apparent and vibrant, one reason to upgrade to the Pro is brightness. Battery life. Battery life is the new facility. Apple has made significant gains in moving to its M1 CPUs. You cannot go wrong with either model when it comes to battery life. The M1 Air has a marked 15 hours, and the Pro is estimated for a massive rise of 17 hours over the previous 10 hours. Graphics. The new M1 processor is featured in each Apple laptop and, according to Apple, is the fastest CPU core in the world when it comes to low-power technology. There's a slight difference between the extra GPU core with MacBook Pro and superior MacBook Air setups, but it won't be seen unless you encode extended stretches of video. However, it also implies that the Pro can maintain high rates without jumping back owing to overheating for a longer time. Sound quality. The MacBook Air and MacBook 13-inch sound fantastic. The bigger the MacBook Pro sound is so much more vital than duplicating somebody else who didn't believe that a laptop played the music. Because the 16-inch MacBook Pro has a specially designed 6-speaker system with force cancelers. The 13-inch MacBook Pro and the Air are lacking. You can visit our website anytime for more details. www.tronixcenter.com. And subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon, so you never miss any upcoming updates.